the finish. 5 seconds to go. Speed towards the basket for two.
Back to New Stadium, this is one which is in City, Vietnam, to one today between Hong Kong Inter and Madrid, Malaysia. And this will be welcome to
All right, folks, the second game of our doubleheader in this penultimate day of competition here in the ABL Invitational Tournament 2023 in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Noel Zanata alongside Coach Todd Curves. We have come down to a matchup here that I'm personally looking forward to. Two teams bound for the playoffs clashing right here. The NS Matrix Malaysia being introduced first, of course. We are right beside the people with the Thundersticks. Going up against Hong Kong Eastern. And it's always a thrill to watch two teams playoff bound. Let's see if they feel each other out in this one, Coach Todd.
This is an absolute preview of a playoff game. You're right, Noel. And both these teams have been very successful throughout the 2023 exhibition, and they're both moving on to that final round.
Well, I was talking to Coach Jeff Barroness before the game started, and he was actually saying that this is the Malaysian national team already. He's left 3 players back in Malaysia because they had to make room for their imports. They have 3 imports here, but this is practically it. The team that's going to be going to the Southeast Asian Games in Cambodia, you can start scouting them now, Coach. Just looking at them right now.
No doubt a team of experience here, and to watch this matchup here, at this point, both teams have established that they're elite level in the ABO. Now you're looking at the nuanced matchups as to who you'll face in the playoffs and who you want to be able to match up against in those biggest games next stop.
We got a new player suiting up here for Hong Kong, Coach. You know him very well.
Trucka back from before, and he's the power forward. He's able to stretch the floor. There he was announced right there. Big fella can play around the rim, but look for him to shoot with the pick and pop action and stretch the floor.
Well, Darian Bassett, of course, is still going to be the team leader in this one. McLaughlin has done also pretty well in their last outing, and of course, Dom Gilbert, Mr. Energy himself.
Dom Gilbert's been overly impressive. He continues to do it on both ends of the floor. He's able to guard guys a little bit bigger than him because of his physicality. And then on the offensive end, not only can he shoot the 3, he'll go fullback on you and try and bull his way to the rim.
And you can just ask Ronaldo Balkman how many body sores he got from him in their matchup. Of course, taking a look right now at the keys to victory for both squads. And it goes without saying, of course, that, you know, the Malaysians are out here to shoot, and they will shoot a lot.
Absolutely. And now this is just a preview of what we'll see later. You don't think you're going to see both coaches empty the entire war chest here.
Yeah.
They'll probably keep things a little bit closer to the vest, but watch both teams look to posture to get that #1 seed, battling the Saigon Heat for it.
Right. And of course, for the NS Matrix, as we take a look at this team right now, this is the Malaysian national team, reinforced by 3 imports. Your assessment of how Maymay and the rest of the Malaysians are right now in terms of their preparation for the upcoming Southeast Asian Games as well?
They look completely ready to go.
Wow.
The fact that they're getting their chemistry together here in the ABL before the SEA Games is a big deal. These guys are learning one another's game. They're creating chemistry, and I think it's going to make them awfully tough to beat come SEA Games time, when some of the favorites will be the Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia.
Yeah, defending champion Indonesia. Yeah.
Absolutely, but the Malaysian team looking to step up and get into that crack, maybe getting a medal with these new players.
Well, again, with these some of these new players already stars in Malaysia. But another thing about international travel, of course, is that you get to know your teammates even more when you get to travel, especially those who are first-timers on the national team. You know, you're usually paired up with a veteran. I don't know if it's the same thing with you. But, of course, taking a look at here at the NS Matrix, one of the naturalized player candidates. Jeff Viernes says there's a lot of them. Tevin Glass has been averaging a double-double, and he continues to be a big factor.
And Glass is doing it not only on both ends, but he's able to shoot the ball from three-point range, take you off the dribble, or if you put a smaller guy on him, he's going to take him down the block and beat him up. So he's a really well-versed player, and if he's added to the Malaysian national team, they're going to be a handful in the SEA Games.
That's right. Now, I was also asking about their third world import, talking about Amir Williams. He actually has a wrist injury. That's why he's out of the lineup, and they brought in Jonathan Wong to replace him, who's from Singapore. Now, look, taking a look right here at Dom Gilbert. While we keep on talking about his tenacity, we failed to mention that he actually averages 16 points a game. And how about that? Close to 9 rebounds as well.
When you're as physical as he is and aggressive as he is, those are the players that end up rebounding more than you'd expect. And so he's a catalyst to really make the little plays, whether it's a hard screen, an offensive rebound, and a putback. Dom Gilbert is the guy who's doing it.
And I believe he could be matched up here against Tevin Glass. I mean, he's not that far off in terms of the height against Tevin Glass, and they could be bodying him a lot as we take a look at the comparison between Dom Gilbert, of course, who is playing as a local here for the Hong Kong Eastern squad, and of course Tevin Glass, who could be a naturalized candidate for the Malaysians here. Pretty even in terms of those numbers, Coach.
It is, but if these two players are going to match up against one another, you've got to wonder who's going to guard McLaughlin. That's the biggest body in there, and they may have to slide Glass over there to body him up, which would give Dom an opportunity to do some things against a different defender.
And one of the things also we saw from the Malaysians is they have many looks in terms of their defense, but if they do go zone, that might solve the McLaughlin problem, at least for the onset.
And well, we know Matrix is not afraid to use a press, so they may look to extend the press, slow the Hong Kong Eastern Lions and specifically O'Darian Bassett down a little bit and make them convert in the half court instead of allowing them to get out and run.
Of course, Hong Kong Eastern is coached. As we take a look at the referee crew for today, Hong Kong Eastern is coached, of course, by a veteran. Coach Pavlicevic has been there, done that at the age of 71, and he should be one of the best in terms of adjustment, coming off the loss to the Zamboanga Valientes, who have been eliminated in our first game. Taking a look at the starting lineup now for the NS Matrix squad, it's Dewey Yang is consistently getting starts here for Coach Jeff Yernes. This was the same starting lineup that he used in this last game.
I'm trying to create a little consistency here. Isaiah Williams will be a key. He's played great in spurts. I'd like to see if he puts it together for a full 40 minutes today, because without Amir Williams, we're going to need some of that scoring punch that comes from him.
And Jeff Yernes, of course, a former player. He still plays at a very high level, was an MVP during his college days, and now he's transitioned into the coaching ranks here as the national team coach, no less, for Malaysia. As we have the starters for Hong Kong Eastern of Chance Yu Wing getting the start here today, O'Darian Bassett with Dom Gilbert, and of course Morelos is Trocha Morelos, who's from the Dominican Republic, is getting the start here today along with Christopher McLaughlin.
And this is as skilled and talented a lineup as there is in this ABL. For sure, Hong Kong Eastern Lions have got a great starting five. Let's see if they can extend it against this Matrix team, bringing Truca back, and now they're full strength as well.
So we are moments away here from the start of this one. Again, what's at stake here? No matter what happens, it appears that Hong Kong Eastern, because of the loss against the Zamboanga Valientes, have no opportunity already to get to the top two positions. That will be up against the Saigon Heat, which won yesterday against Singapore, and the NS Matrix squad, who picked up after losing for the first time in 9 games.
And while that's correct, the parity in this league is incredible. So whether you're the 1 seed or the 4 seed, I'm not too sure how much it matters.
Yeah,
we're going to be paying at a neutral site in the first place. And secondly, that number 4 team is almost as good as the number 1 team.
Well, applause all around right now as we are about to begin this matchup. Again, the penultimate day. We still have one more day of competition tomorrow, but what has been settled so far here, Coach, is the playoffs. I have 4 teams already. Officially, we have 4 teams that will make it to the playoffs, and that begins in the first week of March. We do have the Saigon Heat and the Singapore Slingers winning today over the Zamboanga Valientes. They're in. Hong Kong Eastern already clinched the other day, and of course now they're going up against the NS Matrix squad from Malaysia, looking to capture that number 1 seed into the playoffs.
Right. We understand now which 4 teams are going to be moving on to the final stop, and now it's a matter of posturing for playoff position. But again, I think these 4 teams are all even, so I don't know how much advantage there is to being the 1 seed versus the 4 seed.
I told you.
They're equally talented.
I told you there's a McDonald's in here somewhere, Coach. We just need to find it. I mean, these guys have found it.
Nothing better than McDonald's French fries.
That's right. So Tevin Glass, he's going to be tasked to do a lot, of course, with the injury to Amir Williams, who will no longer be part of this team. His injury has not yet healed. Jonathan Wong, of course, from Singapore, has been now declared as their 3rd world import. They tried to get him in as a local because he does have a Malaysian mother, but his passport is Singaporean.
I see. And they may take a time to get the paperwork all taken care of. In the meantime, he's an import player here, but perhaps he'll be a local player in the years moving forward.
Let's see what happens there. Christopher McLaughlin. All business right now as we set to get things going here at the Nguyen Du Arena here in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. I've not had a chance to go around Ho Chi Minh, Coach. You got to show me around here as well.
Oh, wonderful dining, wonderful places to exhibit. Absolutely. Love it here in Ho Chi Minh. Weather's been incredible. Crowd's been incredible.
So we are about to start this one as they set the clock up now. Harry Santos from the Philippines will be our crew chief. It is Natapong Jontapa from Thailand who will be executing the jump ball. As you can see the crowd here. And they are starting to appreciate also. You can see some of the fans here. Of course, they're all Saigon Heat fans. But when their team is not playing, they sort of figure out who to root for. They're usually right.
Each year, the Saigon Heat fans become a little more educated on basketball. They're cheering for the right things, and they're passionate about basketball regardless in this country. And so this is going to be fun. It'll be fun for them to witness.
Well, of course, the Vietnam did host the last Southeast Asian Games in Hanoi last year. And again, in the men's basketball competition, the complete shocker of all, Indonesia defeating the Philippines. The last time the Philippines lost in the Southeast Asian Games for a gold medal was, you have to go all the way back to 1989.
Wow.
So that was a long streak that the Indonesians were able to stop.
A big win, and I was there in the stadium when it happened, there in Hanoi, and it was packed and raucous. These Vietnamese fans left standing room only in that game.
Right. Well, again, the scene will shift to Cambodia in a couple of months. We are underway in this one. The white shirts belonging to the Hong Kong Eastern squad, and the dark shirts to NS Matrix. And Troca, gentleman from the Dominican Republic, actually member of the Dominican Republic national team, getting the start here today. There's Isaiah Williams. It's also interesting, as we have a foul here called on Dom Gilbert, it's also interesting that the best shooter in all of Malaysia comes off the bench. I'm not quite sure if this is a concerted effort for the coaching staff to get him used to coming off the bench and becoming like an instant offense guy, like a Vinnie Johnson, if you will.
Well, and sometimes from a coach's perspective, it may just be which players blend together best. He may have this starting five group that feel like these players' skill sets fit, and when he brings that shooter off the bench, someone's coming out of the game, and that means he's going to have a different look entirely.
Okay, I think we are right beside the Malaysian fans, Coach. So we're going to have to stretch a bit in terms of our vocal cords because those thunder sticks are pretty loud as Tevin Glass splits the free throws, but he gets the first point on the board for the Malaysians. There's Chan Siu Wing bringing it down now. Boy, what a storied career he's had with the national team of Hong Kong as well. O'Darian Bassett trying to get it inside to McLaughlin. That is kicked by Tevin Glass.
And you can see they ran a little side pick and roll action for O'Darian Bassett, trying to create that switch, and they did. There's a mismatch in the post. I think you want to drop it down to the big man. I expect them to go back to it.
Dom Gilbert on the inbound right now. Chan Siu Wing has been tasked to do a lot of ball carrying. He usually comes off the screens the way O'Darian Bassett is doing right now. Shot clock at 5 though for Bassett. Gets it out, Troca. Chan Siu Wing, three-pointer. Recovery made by Gilbert. That's what he's known for against three black shirts. Gets it up. Troca thinking about it. Out again to Chan Siu Wing. Same spot. Different result this time.
Off the offensive rebound, we've spoken all week about open threes. When you get those second and third opportunities, Hong Kong cashing in.
You've got to remember a time when Hong Kong Eastern had three of the best shooters. They had Lau Tilai. They also had Lee Kee, one of my favorite players. And of course, this gentleman, Chan Siu Wing. Jumper now, Tevin Glass. Nobody there for the rebound for the black shirts. Chan Siu Wing once again, this time being watched by Williams.
In the matchups we talked about earlier, there is Tevin Glass having to pick up the big fella McLaughlin.
Here is a three-pointer now by O'Darian Bassett. Tip in twice. And it's kind of hard to stop somebody who's that close to the rim, and he's almost 7 feet tall.
It really is, and that size difference showing right now.
5-1 for Hong Kong Eastern. Remember, they were defeated by the Zamboanga Valientes. However, Zamboanga ran into a red-hot and determined Singapore Slingers in our first game.
They really did.
Chan Siu Wing in transition now. McLaughlin now. Shot clock at 10. Spin move. Nicely done for the big fella.
Great move on the block. Now for the ABL fans, conversely, you'll see that Hong Kong has the luxury of putting Trucka on glass, and that allows the big fella McLaughlin to just play against one of the local players. You see him challenging that three-point shot.
Well, quick Chen Yuen at 6'8". Oh, how about this transition play on the second down? He breaks for Hong Kong Eastern. NS Matrix is still looking for their first field goal of the game, and Hong Kong Eastern has already 4 of them, including a three-pointer by Chance Yu Wing earlier. 9-1 is our score. Timeout for Jeff Viernes. Good start here for Hong Kong Eastern as they have raced to an 8-point lead, 9-1 against NS Matrix Malaysia. Noel Zarate still working alongside former ABL Coach of the Year and champion coach Todd Purves of the Indonesia Warriors.
Eastern Long Lions couldn't write it any better to start off this game, but you can see we have some unique matchups because Matrix do not have that third import player.
They do have it in the person of Jonathan Wong, but he's from Singapore.
When they get Amir Williams back, I think we're going to see a little bit of a different look from the Matrix.
Well, Amir Williams is already lost for this tournament. A wrist injury is something you just can't risk, Coach.
Now, is he able to come back for the final round, or is he out for the season?
That could be a good question. He might be able to heal by that time. And in the meantime, McLaughlin is just having an easy time underneath.
And I'm sure Amir Williams on the bench is it's hard for him to take. He knows if he were out there, he'd be the one defending McLaughlin, and we'd have a different look here.
Almost a turnover. It is a completed turnover. Tuaka now. 3-on-2 going the other way. Chance Yu Wing. Hang time. Nice defense there by Williams.
Great timing from Williams on that block.
Williams, nobody can stay in front of him right now. Getting it over now the glass. On the turnaround with the left hand. Still can't roll it in. Quick. Battling for the rebound. And it looks like Chance Yu Wing is going to be called for a foul. Oh, they're going to call this one on Quick, though. 6'8 against 5'10. 5'10 wins.
Both guys battling for the board here. Looks like the big fella might have got his hand around the shoulder area for a quick second. Referee caught him.
So still now a 10-point lead. 10, or make that 11-1. Zone defense being shown here, 2-3 zone.
Yeah, 2-3 zone. Let's see if Eastern's able to attack the middle of this zone, which is the weakness in the there it is, in the 2-3 zone.
And immediately creating an imbalance. Oh, Darian Bassett hits another three. 14-1 Hong Kong Eastern.
And no, that's perfect execution of a zone offense. You attack the middle against a 2-3. They collapsed. He threw it weak side for a wide open three, and they cashed in. Exactly what Hong Kong Eastern Lions want to do against that zone.
Williams had it poked away by Chance Yu Wing. Forced up the shot. Here comes Bassett into the front court. And Quick almost took it away.
And O'Darian Bassett, not seeing the defender come from behind him, just told his teammate, if you see him, let me know he's coming.
Right.
Had no idea, snuck him from behind.
That's a lot of stealth for a guy who's 6'8".
No doubt.
Troca.
And we're in a 2-3 again from the Matrix.
Well, Troca can make them pay from out there.
And Troca's going to love that. He can get his shot off anyway, but against a 2-3 or a zone, he's going to have a field day.
Troca had an easy layup, dropped it inside to Gilbert. And he was fouled as he went up. I mean, look at this. He had a layup right there, but said nope. Bench players starting to come in right now. Anthony Liu will replace Kwek Chan Yuan. Of course, Liu at around 6'5", will now have to play power forward. Dom Gilbert. There are a lot of these young kids in Hong Kong who are actually born in Hong Kong. And, of course, they're from Caucasian parents, but their parents are citizens of Hong Kong as well, which makes them play as local. Duncan Reed is a name that comes to mind.
Duncan Reed, Scotty Ewing, there's a Glenn Yang, there's a number of players that have been born there in Hong Kong.
Stephen Gonchard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's another guy.
And they continue to contribute for Hong Kong, a real international country. And so, yeah, it's wonderful to see those guys be a part of the team.
Finally a field goal for NS Matrix. And it came off the bench.
And the Matrix needed that bucket. Having scored 1 point in the first 5 minutes is going to be demoralizing. Back to that 2-3 zone. Let's see if Hong Kong is able to attack it from the right spots again.
Troca, a bunch of shooters out there for Hong Kong Eastern. Even the power forward can stroke it.
We mentioned early, Troca, he's going to get good looks against the zone, and with his height, he's going to be in a shooting gallery.
Going to be a foul called here against McLaughlin. Remember, McLaughlin did not get to finish the game against the Zamboanga Valientes. He was ejected from that one, Coach.
Yes, sir, he was, and a real pivotal moment in the game. He had played very well throughout the entire contest, but late in the game, didn't care for a foul call and then was ejected shortly thereafter.
Well, this is the largest lead of the game now for Hong Kong Eastern, 19-3. And we all know that even if it does look daunting at this point, NS Matrix looking for the #1 position. That's an easy comeback for them.
And getting off of these huge leads early doesn't always mean a big deal. You've got a lot of basketball to play, and I expect the Matrix may chip away at this lead.
Well, that's the guy who can actually start the fire right there. May off the bench, getting his first 2 of the game. So Tin Chun Hong, otherwise known as May, I think it has something to do with the eyes in the Malaysian language, since he has very nice eyes. Oh, nobody in the lane.
Lack of communication and a breakdown on defense there. The power forward gets loose down the lane for the easy smash.
And Troca, of course, that's probably going to be the easiest bucket he's going to get tonight. 21-5.
Hong Kong sure hopes so.
Williams. Able to use his body to protect against McLaughlin and gets the reverse.
Real nice take from Williams. Awfully quick off that dribble.
So 21-7, the lead is down to 14. Still 3:35 remaining here in the first quarter.
This ball's going to go back down to McLaughlin, I would think, again, but nope, Gilbert shoots it instead. McLaughlin definitely has a size mismatch on the block.
And that line drive 3, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's going to miss badly. Anthony Liu, handing it over now to May. Kevin Glass sees an opening. Nicely done on the offense there for the Malaysians.
Great take by Glass, going right at Chuka to the rim.
21-9, so for the first time, back-to-back baskets now for NS Matrix. Under 3 minutes remaining here in the first. McLaughlin. Single coverage by Anthony Liu. Finally gets some help late, but it's not going to work. Recovery made here by Gilbert. Troca strokes it again. May for the rebound. Malaysians slowly chipping away. Williams for 3. Good! Here they come.
And the Matrix, exactly like we mentioned, chipping away at the lead. Now it's down to single digits. They can close a little further after this first quarter. They won't feel so bad about the early start of the Hong Kong Lions.
7 unanswered points here, Coach, for NS Matrix. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining here in the first, but the hot shooting continues for Hong Kong Eastern. Bassett with his second 3 of the game.
And you don't want to let O.D. Bassett get going early from three-point range because it's tough enough to guard him off the dribble.
Jonathan Wong could not answer. Less than 2 minutes to play here in the first. 24-12 in favor of Hong Kong Eastern. Bassett. Chance Yu Wing, another 3. McLaughlin again. Bassett, another 3. Sometimes there's a case of being too wide open, Coach.
He really was, and we continue to see wide open three-point shots coming out of offensive rebounds.
Williams, that was a great pick and roll action, but Anthony Liu couldn't catch it.
And Williams with a really nice look, just a little too much mustard on the pass. He couldn't quite handle it. It was the right idea, just didn't get it done.
Well, Adam Hsu is going to make his first appearance in this game. One of the longest tenured Hong Kong Eastern players, along with Chance Yu Wing, who's still on the floor at this point. Chance Yu Wing. Gilbert gets it. Gilbert from 15. Battle for the rebound. That's going to be a foul on Adam Hsu. They're going to say on Tevin Glass.
Yeah, they're going to
call a second.
Yes, and they're going to call him for a hold on the box out. They feel like he got his hands, I believe, on Dom Gilbert and prevented him. It wasn't Dom Gilbert, but
it was Adam Hsu.
Yes, and he prevented him from getting at the rebound, and so they're going to hit him with the quick second foul.
Wow, that could change the complexion of this ball game.
Noel, I'm surprised to see the Hong Kong Lions not go down low to McLaughlin even more right now with the size advantage that he has when he goes to the block.
Well, here's Bassett right now. Their three-point shooting has been very, very good. McLaughlin out of control that time. Went up without the ball. May gets it now. 1 minute remaining here in the first. May for three. Glass for the rebound. Tries to get it out. Anthony Liu. Jonathan Wong fakes the three. They want to get it up for May. Oh, that's going to be a moving screen. If you're Jeff Viernes, these little turnovers are making you angry at this point.
And off the dribble handoff, just got a little too physical there after he said it, but
you can see there Williams having a word with the ref, and Quick knows that the ref isn't listening to him. He's just having a laugh.
Having a word with himself. And I've done it as well on the sideline.
Oh.
I think I'm talking to the official, but I'm just talking to myself, Noel.
Oliver Shu is in the game.
There's the pass you want to get. The one that goes to the high post there. Shu shot it immediately. He could have looked high-low first, but that's the way you're going to attack this zone.
Oh, how about Gilbert coming out of nowhere to poke it away, and he is instrumental in creating the turnover. Ongwei Young just checked in and didn't know exactly how fast Dom Gilbert is.
Dom Gilbert, deceptively fast, deceptively strong, deceptively awfully skilled.
Yeah, the next in the long line of players who reside in Hong Kong and were born in Hong Kong. Actually, some of these players actually speak Chinese as well.
Again in the 2-3 zone.
Oh, great defense by May. Glass could not beat the buzzer.
And Glass hoping they called that a pass so it doesn't go in his field goal percentage.
24-12. A good start for Hong Kong Eastern against NS Matrix. Second quarter when we return. And the 2023 ASEAN Basketball League Invitational Tournament continues right here from Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam. Noel Zarate with Coach Todd Purves. And that first half, boy, Hong Kong Eastern got off to a hot start, not allowing any field goals for NS Matrix until the 6-minute mark of that first quarter.
Yeah, everything went right for Hong Kong right there. And some of the matchups we're seeing are really advantageous for the Long Lions, I think because of the absence of Amir Williams. When he gets back, we're going to see some different matchups come playoff time. But in the meantime, both teams playing extremely hard.
Well, from a high of 16, it is down to 12 as we open this second quarter. Jonathan Wong. May again. Not a good start from three-point range, 0 for 2 for Ting Chun Hong. Another one there missed, coming from Anthony Liu. Or check that, that's Wei Shanfu who's in the game for the first time. Gilbert. Adam Shu. One more time around for Hong Kong Eastern. Remember, they had so many offensive rebounds against the Zamboanga Valientes. It kept them in the game despite the fact that they had a lot of turnovers.
You're exactly right. with that errant pass. We're getting back on defense here. Let's see if the Matrix can start to close this gap a bit. They're going to have to put up some more points than a dozen after the first quarter.
That's right. I'm looking at, they have to get May involved already at this point. Tevin Glass not even on the floor right now. Neither is Isaiah Williams. So it's an all-local crew right now for the Malaysians. Except for this guy, Jonathan Wong, last second decided to pass it off. Ong Wei Yong able to get there. And O'Darian Bassett will be whistled for the foul. And that's the tenacity in terms of grit being shown by this young man from Malaysia. Ong Wei Yong doesn't give up on any plays. So we're going to have a player come in once again for the Hong Kong Eastern squad.
O'Darian Bassett having a seat.
Yeah, this is Leung seeing his first action of the game. Leung Ka-hin.
Hong Kong still in that man-to-man defense here.
Ding Chun Hong on the fall away.
Great defense, great shot challenge.
1 for 4 coming off the bench for Mei. Adam Shu right now. Actually 3 locals on the floor as well. 4 locals on the floor for the Hong Kong Eastern squad. Here's one of them, Leung Ka-hin. 3-pointer not there. Battle for the rebound, picked up by Mei, and here they come. Ting Chun Hong, layup is good. He's picked up a lot of fans here.
Absolutely, maybe with that quick layup, but I'll tell you what, McLaughlin diving for the steal at half court, didn't get it, but you have to love the effort for a big fella getting on the ground.
We have a stoppage in the action here.
I think that came from McLaughlin. He put his big body on the ground for that loose ball, and they're going to have a wipe up for a minute.
That's a pretty big wipe up that they're going to be having to do right there.
No doubt. Big time effort in the first half, though, from the big fella.
Yeah. McLaughlin around 6'10", 6'11". One of the bigger imports, of course, the biggest import I've seen here in the ABL. We all know him very well. PJ Ramos at 7'3". Oh, no, there's another guy. Sam DeGuara. There you
Sam
go.
DeGuara. Sam DeGuara, the giant. We've had a couple of real big ones for sure. Biggie for Singapore, also a big, 7'3" himself, 7'2", 7'3".
Was that Bular?
No, Sim Bular is more like 7'7". He's probably the biggest player in the ABL. But Biggie, when playing for Singapore, was probably 7'2", 7'3", and a huge body.
Of course, I did get to meet Priest Lauderdale when he was playing over in Qatar. It's 7'4". At the time, he was the tallest guy I've ever met until I met Sam DeGuara.
Sam DeGuara. He and Sim Bular are just giants.
Good passing there for the Malaysians, able to get a 3-point opportunity from Wu Shan-fu, who now has 3 free throws coming up. And these are the guys who get a lot of fans, especially from the ladies. This gentleman here, Wei Shan-fu, when he went to the Philippines, he and Mei, they all of the fans just go up to them and say, "Hey, you look like K-pop stars." That's why they get all the fans. Wei Shan-fu, of course, one of the more determined players when it comes to crashing the boards. There you can see Amir Williams on the bench. He was trying to grip the ball with that injured hand earlier when I was talking to Jeff Viernes. He could do it to a certain extent, but again, Coach, there's so many moving parts in the wrist injury.
You could have a very minor injury that can significantly affect your game, whereas you may have a tougher injury, but it doesn't affect the specific strengths of your game. Depends on the scenario.
Yeah, I remember several players playing on an injured wrist before, but when it's with your shooting hand, that's when it becomes a problem.
A nasty paper cut on your shooting hand could end your day.
That's right. 24-16. Suddenly, Hong Kong Eastern has not yet scored here in the second quarter. And that lead is down to 8. McLaughlin working against the smaller Anthony Liu. Hook shot does not work. Mei for the rebound.
And he missed that little hook shot, but that's exactly what he needs to do. He's got a significant size advantage. He needs to continue to go down there and impose his will on the block. Good
defense by Gilbert on Mei. Or make that McLaughlin's defense on Mei. McLaughlin now taking it strong. And you got the 5'10" Ong Wei Yong trying to meet the 6'11" guy in midair. Good effort, but it's a foul.
He's at least going to send him to the charity stripe for 2 and say, "You're not going to get to dunk on me for the highlight."
Well, I remember, though, it was a big highlight in Nate Robinson's career before when he blocked Yao Ming at one point. And, of course, there was also Spud Webb blocking Patrick Ewing.
Absolutely.
It's not a matter of height, really. It's just a matter of timing. We're going to have a bunch of players come in. Jonathan Wong checking back in. And our first look now at Ong Yi is coming in. Ong Yi Hao, or Wong Yi Hao, an integral part of the Malaysian national team. This time it's his turn to come off the bench. Boy, these thunder sticks are really, really loud. Finally, some points for Hong Kong Eastern here in the second quarter as McLaughlin is going to take a seat. Troca will return. Now, who's going to play center here? Is it going to be Gilbert?
I think we'll see Troca play center. They'll match him up with Glass, who's the biggest player there. But just because you're playing center doesn't mean you'll be on the block. I still expect Troca to operate out there on the perimeter in a pick-and-pop fashion.
Jonathan Wong, series of moves, and he rolls it in, plus the foul.
When you can see Jonathan Wong understands now there's not a rim protector. He went right to the rim without the big fella McLaughlin there and finished.
Jonathan Wong, as we mentioned, Singaporean, with a Malaysian mother, but studied in Canada. There's a lot of cultures right there.
International type of guy.
Williams will return. Isaiah Williams, and so will Chance Yu-Wing. It looks like this is the matchup that Coach Pavlicevic wants. When Williams is in there, Chance Yu-Wing has to be in there.
Gotcha. And that chemistry there is probably exactly what he's looking for, as well as the defensive matchup.
Wong completes. Down to 9, or down to 8 rather. I'll make that down to 7. The scoreboard's a little slow, sorry folks. 26 to 19.
And we know Coach Viernes likes to come pick up with a little press after free throws, slowing the ball down, and we're already down under 10 seconds under the shot clock, just like he'd hoped.
Yeah, make that 6 seconds to be exact at this point. Shu getting it over now to Gilbert. Now he has to attack. A floater from Gilbert. Rebound picked up once again by Wee Shun Fu.
Nice board from Wee Shun Fu.
Spin move was denied that time by Chance Yu-Wing.
Troca's going to have a hard time holding Glass off the dribble.
Quick ball movement here. Williams could have given it to Glass, keeps it himself. No. Williams stays with it. He gets blocked from behind by Troca.
Nice play by Troca after the offensive rebound to just stay connected and still get that block.
That lead is slowly disappearing now for Hong Kong Eastern. Glass, no. Gilbert does not rest. Oh, almost taken away there by Williams. He's still in the backcourt though. Chance Yu-Wing. Troca, another 3. Devin Glass looking to get it to Williams. Against 2 white shirts, and he gets it to go, Isaiah Williams. The lead is down to 5 from a high of 16. Timeout called by Hong Kong Eastern, 26 to 21. Looks like somebody brought some food with them here, Coach. You and I gotta hit up Coach Matt Van Pelt and say, you know what, it's your birthday yesterday. I'm sure you're watching, Coach Matt. Happy birthday to you. Well, of course, we would like to be treated to a lot of pho tonight.
Hey, well, you know what? We'll go with some El Gaucho Argentine Steakhouse right in Matt's wheelhouse, and we'll see if he'll treat us as the birthday boy.
That's great. That's great. Coach Matt, come on over. I'm sure you're scouting this game as well. Bassett back in the game. Gets it over now to Gilbert. Shot clock down to 5 once again. Gilbert, line drive, no. Down for the rebound, won by Isaiah Williams. They can't score coming off their timeout. Can the Malaysians do it? And Wong Yi Hao in and out. Bassett, getting it back to McLaughlin. Good luck stopping that guy.
Hong Kong coming right back with the big fella, and he's making his imprint right after the timeout.
28-21. Back to a 7-point lead. Remember, it was 16 points at one point. Williams. A little early in the shot clock for that one, Coach.
It was a little early in the shot clock. If there's a shot that you can get later in the shot clock, if you can get the same one, it means you shot it too early.
Troca, great passing here by Hong Kong Eastern. Chance Yu-Wing to Troca to Gilbert.
Great vision from Troca as he's diving down that lane to see his teammate.
They'll probably call himself the new incarnation of Tony Kukoc, the way he plays. No, Tony Kukoc used to be played, but he used to be playing in Croatia. As we have Jonathan Wong on the penetration. Tony Kukoc used to be called the waiter when he was playing in Split, Croatia, because he would serve everybody up.
Serving everybody, huh?
Yep, he was the waiter, and that's exactly what Troca's been doing right now. Williams almost gets a blindside steal. Bassett, great ball movement once again. How about McLaughlin for three?
Clean.
7 unanswered, Coach.
Absolutely clean look. They double teamed him on the block. He ended up getting the ball back on the perimeter where you're going to have a hard time double teaming him. He drained it.
Oh, that's going to be a dribbling violation. A little bit too flashy that time for Jonathan Wong.
And he had such a sweet move the previous time down the floor with some fancy ball handling, and the bucket pushes the envelope a little too far and gets called for the palming.
Well, John Wong, wearing jersey number 12, is in. So we got a Jonathan Wong and a John Wong, and they're joined by Mei Mei, Ding Chun Hong. I've always wanted to see a matchup between Chance Yu-Wing and Ding Chun Hong when it comes to three-point shooting. If we had a three-point shootout, boy, we would find out who would finally win in that matchup. Troca, catch and shoot.
And McLaughlin didn't see Gilbert wide open under the rim when he slipped under there.
Troca, a rare post move, but he still drops it inside to Gilbert. I mean, not because this kid's about 6'8", 6'9", that you think he's going to post up. He's been passing the ball very well. Williams can't drop it in.
Yeah, a couple of great looks from Troca getting his teammates open. Got to love to play with a big man like that.
Oh, that's just a wild pass there coming from Bassett. You know, the lead was down to 5 earlier. It's now up to 12 once again. So you can't let your foot off the gas if you're NS Matrix Malaysia.
And with McLaughlin, Dom, and Troca, that front line just seems a little bit too big for Matrix right now. They're having some size advantage.
Right, Wong Yee-Hao just walked into a three-pointer and nobody was ready for. Less than 3 minutes remaining in the half. Oh, nice pass once again. Extra pass to McLaughlin, who wasn't ready. And he stretches inside. Oh, tips it in. Coach Jeff Viernes is now beside himself how he can allow all of these points to be scored. 37-23. It was down to 5. It's now up to 14 once again for Hong Kong Eastern. Christopher McLaughlin and the rest of Hong Kong Eastern have found a way to get back into their groove. The NS Matrix Malaysia had the lead down to 5. I've lost track of the runs, but it is now a 14-point lead for Hong Kong Eastern.
Eastern really taking advantage of the size difference right now, not only on the boards, but just getting the ball around the rim where those height players at the 3, 4, and 5 position are doing damage.
Well, Jeff Viernes has to figure something out quickly. He still has 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in this first half. Tevin Glass gets bumped, and Troca's going to be whistled for this one. See this one again, you know, a little hezzy, and then suddenly try to attack. You know, that's like all pre-planned for Tevin Glass.
Absolutely. Great move.
When they're looking at a lot of naturalized candidates. According to Jeff Viernes, there's actually a whole bunch of them, including one of the African students who actually made an impact in the Philippines by the name of Henry Iloca. Now that guy is a walking double-double, can average 4 blocks a game.
So it sounds like Malaysia will be adding someone to that national team. There will be a naturalized player, and they're still debating on who that'll be.
Yeah, but the problem is it might not be for Cambodia because they might not have enough time to naturalize a player for Cambodia.
Yeah, it certainly takes some time to get all that documentation in order, and some of the countries and teams going with that naturalized player and other countries not.
Well, I've not seen China have a naturalized player.
No, there's a number of countries that they prefer to stick with their own local players, and some that are a little bit more flexible in terms of bringing in players from foreign countries and giving them that naturalized status.
Well, here's something working for the NS Matrix squad. Hong Kong Eastern is already in the penalty with 2 minutes and 15 remaining. And that's going to send Wong Yi Hao to the free throw line so he can recalibrate his gun. He's 0 for 2 so far.
And the best way to do that is from the free throw line.
Right. Had a bunch of, oh, that's a miss. Bad miss there. I actually had 2 Filipino PBA MVPs tell me that, who are shooters. One is goes by the name of William Boggs Adernado, 3-time PBA MVP. And another guy you might be familiar with, Alan Kaidik, who was a left-handed shooter, scored 79 points in one PBA game with 17 threes. But he and Boggs said the same exact thing. If your outside shooting isn't working, try to get to the free throw line.
Absolutely. It's free shots to get in your rhythm.
Wong Yi Hao, however, out of rhythm there. 2 misses from the free throw line with less than 2 minutes remaining now here in the first half. A good steal though for Wong Yi Hao. This guy used to be a guard. He still has those dribbles. Kevin Glass left the ball behind. Yi Hao underneath. Reverse layup is good.
Nice finish. Right there around the rim.
Amir Williams can't even clap because of the wrist injury.
Well, you can see they've got the young Williams there. They had him on Dom Gilbert, and that's going to be a mismatch around the rim.
Gilbert finding Bassett. He had 2 3-pointers in the first quarter. Has come up empty since. He's missed his last 3. Here's Williams. Great defense by Chan Siu Ring. Just staying with him. Malaysians get the ball back, however.
Big time hustle there from Tevin Glass to go ahead and smack that ball off the Hong Kong Eastern Lions leg and get themselves another possession with the baseline out of bounds.
1 minute and 18 remaining here in the second. Wong Yi Hao to inbound now for NS Matrix. Mei shoots over Gilbert. Rebound tracked down by Mei once again. Tevin Glass and another foul. This could be number 2 on McLaughlin. Again, Hong Kong Eastern in the penalty.
If that's his second, let's see if Coach decides to sub out McLaughlin with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining to make sure he doesn't pick up that accidental third, or if he's going to ride this half out.
Yeah, I'm looking at that 7-footer they have. Remember, Polk. He hasn't seen action yet.
And Puck was influential in the last game, especially from the weak side defense and challenging shots around the rim. They're still leaving McLaughlin in right now. Let's hope he didn't pick up that third, unless you're a Matrix fan.
Well, we got Matrix fans right beside us. You know, that shot you just saw on your screens, that's right beside Coach and I. Glass, get on 2. 37-29. It's been trimmed down to 8 once again. Coming up on the final minute here of the second. McLaughlin begging for it in the post. And as Matrix dropping down to a zone. And some late help. Looks like Mei will be tagged for this one.
And that help came just a little bit too late. McLaughlin was already too close to the rim by the time the help came, so he's just going to get the foul and head to the charity stripe.
So Ting Chun Hong picking up his first. Christopher McLaughlin. Again, this guy's been around as well. It's always great to see some of the world imports actually finding a home here in this side of the world, in Southeast Asia.
Absolutely. We discussed Xavier Alexander before, and guys like that who've made a full career over here, they're not just great players, but off the court, they've been able to endear themselves to a different culture and to the community that loves them as well. I
just come from covering the Asian Poker Tour actually in Hanoi, and my partner's first timer here in Vietnam, and he said, the one thing I like about this place, everything is so peaceful. And he can't be more right about that, right?
Well, certainly I've loved it here for a long time.
There's Bassett right now. 10-point lead for Hong Kong Eastern. And there is a differential between the clocks. It is about 10 seconds. McLaughlin tries to get it inside. Great anticipation that time by John Wong. Williams skips it over to Wong. Extra pass inside to Wong Hao.
Two great passes from the Matrix to get the layup there. Bring this within single digits right before the half.
Still 5 seconds though. Bassett, can they get it off in time? Chance Yu Wing, almost. Oh, they're gonna have to review that one.
I think they are. I think that basket's gonna count, but don't quote me on it. They're gonna have to go to the replay.
Yeah, they're gonna have to review
awfully
that.
close.
So that was a tip in by McLaughlin. They can look at it.
I think the Matrix would feel pretty good about going into halftime only down 8, considered everything that's happened in this first half.
Referees discussing that last basket. So this first half is officially not yet over because our score still remains in the balance.
I don't think there'll be any additional time put on the back.
No, that's true.
Regardless, so players can head to the locker room while the officials figure this out.
It's so close. I just saw the replay. It's so close.
I really couldn't tell. I thought he might have gotten it out of his hands in the nick of time, but we'll see on the replay.
It's so close. Like when he released it and when zero came almost at the same time. They are reviewing it. There's a fourth referee that we have actually right there assigned to just the IRS. So we still have no announcement whether that shot came in, whether that shot will count or not. That fourth referee is also with our tournament director, Coach Eric Altamirano, who we spoke to during the game. No basket.
No basket. McLaughlin hoping they still add the rebound to his stat sheet.
And now Coach Pavlicevic is not happy with the decision. But in the end, it is an 8-point lead by Hong Kong Eastern heading into the halftime break, 39-31 against NS Matrix Malaysia. We'll be back for more basketball action right here in Vietnam when we come back. And this one, the light shirts belonging to the Singapore squad. Red shirts, of course, to the Saigon Heat. And we are underway here.
And Hassan Thomas selected to go with the jump ball right there. He's a new heritage player, Vietnamese-American with the jump ball, playing the power forward position for the Saigon Heat.
Looking for a friend. Ma gets it inside. First offense now. Getty's on the spin, and Singapore scores first. Barkley with a miss, and it's still 4-2 in favor of the Saigon Heat. Gilliard trying to up the tempo right now. Quick ball movement again for the Heat. Three-pointer this time dropped. Pride working for him right now.
Very much so, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the Saigon Heat make
Oh!
the
Pick and roll action that time. Another basket here for the Heat.
Great
Barkley.
defense by Go.
And a slam for Geddes. He is 4 for 4 from the field, coach. Baseline inbounds play. Holder throws it away. That's the third steal for Alexander in this game. I'll make that Barkley this time. Barkley with his first steal, and he...
Let's see when the shot's shot. And there it is. One more attempt for the Saigon Heat right here.
Gilliard. Oh, they fouled him, and they're in the penalty. Ma was unaware of how many team fouls they had.
Absolutely. And Slinger's coming out in his zone right now.
Yeah. Holder going to the side, three-pointer on its way, and that is good. That is Dan Qua for the Hong Kong Eastern squad, who could clinch the playoffs also in their next game tomorrow. Inside pass, Delvin Go for the layup.
And the Slingers trying to take advantage of the size difference between Xavier Alexander and Quantran. You could have two guys averaging that many assists.
But of course, Coach Neal would like to see a shooter on his team. That's why Barkley has probably been brought in. He had the great one-way long for the Singapore Slingers for a very long time. In the meantime, that's also broken up once again. Another turnover, and Barkley slams it down.
To give to Xavier Alexander, but they did not finish the play with the defensive rebound. Thus, the next shot got the bucket.
We got an 8-0 run ongoing now for the Singapore Slingers. They must win to clinch. Oh, that's a great move. Heading towards the basket there. Back-to-back fouls, though, for the Slingers on this possession. Gilliard now running the pick and roll. Everything but the basket there for Combs. Thomas gets it out. Three-pointer on its way. That is good. For the win, Suvin. 1 second separating the clocks here in the first half. Barkley, the pick by Geddes is ready. Barkley shoots a three. Good! Saigon now up by 5, 39-34 in a game that will clinch the playoffs for them. A win by Singapore. Oh!
And no foul called there.
That pass is tapped. And a turnover now going the other way once again. Turnover number 11 now. That is another turnover forced, however, here by the Saigon Heat. Gilliard gets it inside. Thomas with a slam. 4:25 remaining here in the third. Barkley, tough shot. Gilliard on the outlet now. Going to Holder. They get it out. Hassan Thomas for three. And that is a wedgie.
Gambling, and it paid off.
Holmes, all sorts of problems handling the ball. Here comes Xavier Alexander, and he's going to stuff it in.
Wow. Wow. Loose ball, transition play, no call on the play, load.
3.5 remaining here. This game is still in the balance. 63, Singapore, 61 for Saigon. And another turnover. A chance to tie or take the lead now for the Heat. They're going for the lead. Gilliard gives them the lead.
Gilliard in transition with the big man going down the lane. I thought he'd dime him for the layup, but he felt it himself and banged home the dagger.
Singapore is out of timeouts. Saigon still has one. They have it in the hands of Barkley now. Getting it out to Geddes. Xavier Alexander, the legend, on the drive, stifled, and it's taken away by Thomas. A foul given up by Geddes with 9.5 seconds remaining.
Let's see if they foul them on the ground.
And a foul has been given up. They do have a foul to give with 1.6 seconds remaining.
And they do create that foul, absolutely. I don't think he fouled him intentionally, but it's going to work out the right way.
Right.
The Saigon Heat fouling out, whether on purpose or not, they fouled at the right time. Now you give the Slingers only 1.6 to get this last shot off. No need to guard the basket. Everyone should be outside the three-point line here. It's a 3 or nothing.
Barkley for three. That's it. And the Saigon Heat come from behind and steer this one 71-68. There's a Bonga Mayetes are still alive in the playoff hunt.
What you waiting for? Give them what they came for. This is what they came for. Long shot, but I got the reach. Pop, lock, now I'm off the leash. Mic drop, I ain't gotta preach.
One-on-one, Jake Ball. You do know this is my house, right? Yeah, it's my house too.
No one can compete. I just do what comes natural. came for.
Oh, with his point guard skills, drives the lane, and a slam down right to the rim. Boom, shot the left, Canadian slam. The beautiful lay attack. Down by Portland at the corner. What a shot!
Fast, I'm in, and one. Gets it. Athletic move by Saigon.
Oh, has to.
Oh, Darren Bassett says no.
Slam right there. Alex Smith. Oh! Good press here. Stolen.
Rise up, boom!
With the alley. Oh!
Dancing, driving.
Control. Airtime detonated right there. Coast to coast moves as he finishes it. Oh man, rise up. Chalmers sidestep. Bang! Mario Chalmers. The turn and the burn by Timmy. Oh!
So what you waiting for? What you waiting for? Give them what they came for. This is what they came for. Long shot, but I got the reach. Pop lock, now I'm off the leash. Mic drop, I ain't gotta preach.
One-on-one, check ball. You do know this is my house, right? Yeah, it's my house too.
Take charge, no one can compete. I just do what comes natural. This is what they came for.
Oh, with his point guard skills, drives the lane, and a slam down right to the rim. Boom, shot the left, Canadian slam. The beautiful lay attack. Down by Portland at the corner. What a shot!
Fast, I'm in, and one. Gets it.
2, 1, 3.
Athletic
Yes.
move by Saigon.
Oh, has to.
Oh, Darren Bassett says no.
Slam right there. Alex Smith. Oh! Good press here. Stolen.
Rise up, boom!
With the alley. Oh!
Some numbers from our first half of action as Hong Kong Eastern leads by 8, 39-31 against NS Matrix Malaysia.
And look no further than the three-point percentage right now. 1 for 13 from the Matrix, and you just expect them to shoot a little bit better from that perimeter. But 4 more three-point shots is a dozen points. In an 8-point game, that's pretty much the telling stat.
Well, one of the things that has been keeping the NS Matrix squad here is they've had more free throws. They've actually doubled the amount of free throws taken by Hong Kong Eastern. However, only 8 makes out of 12. Hong Kong Eastern is still spotless from the line.
And with 12 assists for Eastern, you'd love to see that type of unselfishness. If you can finish with 24, 25 assists for the game, you know you've shared the ball.
Oh, they've been sharing the ball a lot. Great cutting, especially with the addition of Troka. I mean, he's a passing big guy. These guys don't grow on trees, as I keep on saying.
He can pass, he can shoot, really skilled. Not necessarily a banger around the rim, but someone who stretches the floor and makes the game easier for his teammates.
And if you follow this game, of course, you know that there are really no major implications. This is just a positioning game, if you will. And if the NS Matrix lose this, they might slip down to number 2. And Saigon will get the number 1 position. And being at number 2, Hong Kong Eastern will be the number 3 seed.
They will. And with the Heat having Surabaya tomorrow, I think they're going to finish out strong. And if you can't get this win tonight, that'll be the number 1 seed.
Right. And of course, they do have a big advantage over the Louvre Surabaya squad. So there's still 20 minutes of basketball here for the NS Matrix to come back from this one. They were down 16 in the first quarter, chopped it down to 5 points in the third quarter. But then after one timeout by Coach Pavlicevic, everything started to go really well for Hong Kong Eastern. Let's see if they can sustain that here.
And we'll continue to look at some of these key matchups right now with McLaughlin and Dom Gilbert versus Glass. And we'll see the way they're going to match up and who's going to try and go inside right now.
Well, they are starting with, NS Matrix is starting with Ting Chun Hong in the starting lineup here for the third quarter. Of course, Mei hasn't really gotten it on court. He's got 4 points, but from 2-point range. 0 for 3 from beyond the arc at this point. Again, he's an integral part of the offense, not only of the NS Matrix squad, but also of the Malaysian national team. And it's always a privilege to have the head coach of the Malaysian national team present here in Jeff Viernes.
Absolutely. He's getting just invaluable time with those players that are going to be playing for him in the SEA Games right now. They're learning his system. They're creating some continuity and some chemistry. So expect to see them well improved come SEA Game time. And
Jeff Viernes was sharing their itinerary. After this, they're not going back to Malaysia. They're going straight to Mongolia for the qualifiers for the 2025 World Championship as well.
Bring a coat. Mongolia is cold as it gets right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Matt Van Pelt and the Saigon Heat were there about a month or 2 ago, and he said it was freezing.
If it's a month or 2 ago, that's minus 30. We're underway here in our second half of action. Chance Yu Wing getting it now to O'Darian Bassett, and that's an ominous sign for Hong Kong Eastern as an unforced turnover occurs.
We're trying to get Bassett open on that Iverson cut that comes across the top with 2 screens on the elbow, but couldn't handle the pass there.
So let's see what the response will be now for NS Matrix. As Isaiah Williams gets it over to Ting Chun Hong. Mei three-pointer, no. That's exactly what you want to have Mei do, come off 2 screens. However, a foul will be called against Jonathan Wong. And he's having words with O'Darian Bassett as well. So again, these two teams already in the playoffs, perhaps just feeling each other out, what it's going to be like going up against each other. But again, one man short. We're talking about the Malaysian team. NS Matrix, as we have a steal here by Wang Yihao. And Yihao is going to score the first basket in the second half.
Great anticipation. And the NS Matrix continue to put Williams on Dom Gilbert right now. So it's a bit of a size advantage for Dom Gilbert. We'll see if they try and get him in the post.
Gilbert gets it out. Chance Yu Wing. Coming off that screen is O'Darian Bassett. Bassett from 15, short. Battle for the rebound. Ting Chun Hong had it in his hands, and it's his last touch by McLaughlin.
Matrix with a chance to cut this to 4 points here. Getting out to a good start in the second half.
Again, Ting Chun Hong is not a short guy by any means. He's about 6'5". And he's hailed as the best shooter in Malaysia. In fact, Mr. Basketball in Malaysia right now. Glass steps back and shoots the 3. Glass.
Right over the extended arms of Troca. Tough shot.
This is now just a 3-point lead for Hong Kong Eastern. 39-36. Oh, losing his balance that time was Glass. Bassett. Chance Yu Wing, shot clock down to 4. Bassett getting the pick from McLaughlin. Slips it inside, McLaughlin hooks it up and in. That's an amazing shot.
Great finish from the big fella. A little bit off balance, but was able to use that right hand to toss it up over, but falls asleep on the defensive end.
Wang Yihao on the other end caught McLaughlin sleeping on defense. Lots of action, but just over 2 minutes gone by here in the third. Chance Yu Wing getting it out. Bassett from straightaway, short again. Battle for the rebound. Williams taps it off the leg of Troca.
Good hustle from Williams down there, getting that possession for NS Matrix after it looked like Troca would get the rebound.
So 41-38. Chance to inch even closer now. So Jonathan Wong and the rest of NS Matrix. They get it out. Wong Yee-Hao, three-pointer, good! And we have a tied game, Coach Son.
Big start to the second half from NS Matrix. They've come out here with a degree of focus. Look at the battle down low between Glass and McLaughlin, really bodying each other.
8 unanswered points, and finally an answer.
And you wondered when Hong Kong would start to focus and go down low to that size advantage. Right there, taking advantage of the fact that Dom Gilbert's a bit bigger than Williams in that block.
Williams with the speed advantage just threw it over Chan Siu Wing and couldn't get it to go. 43-41, Hong Kong Eastern. Troca had 1 3-pointer in the first quarter.
Again, Dom Gilbert trying to post up Williams down there on that block.
Pick and roll action. It's going to be a kickball violation, though. They will reset the shot clock to 14. 6 minutes and 37 to play, and Coach Pavlicevic, cool as a cucumber, as they say.
No doubt. Been here before, and he'll do it again.
Chan Siu Wing having a hard time inbounding, almost taken away by Williams.
And McLaughlin saying, I popped out first, just get me the ball, and let's get into our offense.
Now the inbound will have to be from the baseline for Chan Siu Wing. Again, this is a new role he's playing. He usually is the starting shooting guard for Hong Kong Eastern. They used to have somebody by the name of Marcus Elliott becoming their point guard. Tip in is not good for Troca. A chance to tie or take the lead. Intercepted by Bassett. He's got a 3-on-1 going the other way, and Troca with a second dunk. 45-41 in the blink of an eye. A 4-point lead anew for Hong Kong Eastern. Glass lost the ball all by himself, and after an 8-0 run for Jeff Viernes' squad, they've suddenly not found any rhythm.
Glass looks like he feels he can take Troca off the dribble. Just lost the handle right there.
Hong Kong Eastern now slowing things down once again. Straight up man-to-man being played now by the Malaysians. Less than 6 minutes remaining here in the third. Bassett left open. Yes!
Running with Darian Bassett from the strong side to the weak side off of those staggered screens, opened him right up, and in rhythm he banged that 3 home.
So after 8 unanswered for NS Matrix, now 7 unanswered for Hong Kong Eastern, and a foul will be called against Christopher McLaughlin. See this one again. Speed advantage obviously belonging to Wong Yee-Hao, who's also 6'6". This kid's not small.
No, and Howe doing a nice job of using his body to create that contact on the big fella McLaughlin and draw the foul, still trying to finish with his left hand. But he'll get a couple right here at the charity stripe.
And see that this kid, I told you the story about him growing about 4 or 5 inches in a span of 1 summer.
Wow.
And you like it when you have players like that. You develop their skill set as a guard, and then suddenly they show up in their small forward size.
And you can still retain those guard skills and that guard vision. You got yourself a player at that point.
Well, Wong Yee-Hao seems to have problems with the free throws today. He's 0 for 4 actually from the line. Troca, they finally get it to Gilbert, going cross court now. Bassett wide open for 3.
And that's the size advantage of the Eastern Hong Kong Lions. They threw it down to Gilbert. The weak side came to help, knowing he's a lot bigger than Williams. When they did, weak side skip pass, bucket from Bassett.
Now we know this is basketball is a game of runs. Glass can't get the follow-up. It's 10 unanswered points now for Hong Kong Eastern. Turnover. Into the front court, Williams on the 3-on-2. Nice fake by Wong. Drops it inside. Glass lost it, but it is last touch by Troca. Boy, Tevin Glass has a hard time handling the ball today.
He's going up against a number of bigger guys than he is, and I think he's trying to out-quick him, and he's just losing the handle of it a little bit.
Well, all that leading to this 10-point lead right now, 51-41, in favor of Hong Kong Eastern. Williams, dangerous inbounds pass. Oh, that's going to be a foul on McLaughlin. That's his 3rd. I mean, you do appreciate the effort on defense. But that is going to be bad news for Hong Kong Eastern.
And with,
And
with this 10-point lead, let's see if they keep McLaughlin in or they go ahead and rest him for the quarter to make sure. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and let him ride some pine for a second and just catch his breath and make sure he doesn't catch that next foul here in the third quarter.
Well, from 6'11 to 6'4, and Adam Hsu just checked in. Oh, great defense there by Gilbert. Once again, Hong Kong is in the middle of a 10-0 run. This was a tied game just a few moments ago, folks. Gilbert, Troca, out again to Gilbert. He'll attack. Floater, off the glass, no. Mei has it now. Trying to rush it. Wei Shan Fu lines up a three. Rebound picked up by Mei. Still can't get it to go. Boy, so many up-close shots being missed by NS Matrix.
And the absence of McLaughlin immediately being felt, and you could see it with the NS Matrix getting those offensive rebounds.
Coming up on 4 minutes remaining here in the third. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Hsu drives. Oh, he's going to get clipped. That could go on Tevin Glass.
Great take from Hsu, going strong to the rack with his left hand.
That is number 2 on Tevin Glass. Second team foul now for NS Matrix. So Adam Hsu going to the free throw line. Hsu joined this team at the start of the 2017-2018 season. It is now 2023, so he's been with this club for 5 years already. Of course, one of the originals, as we mentioned earlier, is Chan Siu Wing, who was there from the very beginning. O'Darian Bassett joined the squad in 2019. Offensive rebound picked up. Score remains unchanged, 51-41.
Don Gilbert asking for the ball down in the mismatch size-wise on the block, but tough defense from Matrix. Not willing to take a step backward.
Yeah, I correct myself. I said Ting Chun Hong was 6'5". He's actually about 6'2".
3 on the shot clock.
Yep. Do they know it? Do they know it? They knew it, but he just couldn't get it off. O'Darian Bassett with a case of over-dribbling that time.
And great defense on the perimeter there from the Matrix, making it as difficult as possible knowing the shot clock's running down.
Well, that's what Wong Yi Hao has been known for. 3:33 to go here in the third. Williams sidesteps, gets it outside. Wong Yi Hao, 3. Rebound picked up by Bassett. Now the score has not moved in almost 2 minutes of game time, Coach.
We've got the same 10-point deficit that we had at halftime.
That's right. It was 8 at halftime, actually, 39-31. But this is still 10 unanswered for Hong Kong Eastern. Oh, it's finally added. The Chen Siu Wing hitting the 3 from the left wing.
Coach Jeff Aaron taking a quick timeout. Doesn't want to let this score get too far out in front of him.
13-0 run ongoing for Hong Kong Eastern. Timeout, NS Matrix. You know, you got a bunch of veterans like we do. We sort of run out of, we sort of have to struggle with the name of a certain player. But O'Darian Bassett on your screens, and I made this comment before when I covered him in 2019, reminds me a lot of Kemba Walker with the way he plays. So thank you for helping me find the name too, Coach.
Absolutely. Well, they both have the ability to get to wherever they want to on the floor. They're so explosive with the ball. They both have that mid-range jump shot, and they can both really garner an entire offense and run it into a good situation.
Well, he has been a big factor of this 13-0 run that's ongoing. We had a tied score at 41 earlier. Tevin Glass coming off the Jeff Viernes timeout shoots an air ball.
And Chuka with the long arms challenging out there on the perimeter. Tough guy to shoot over.
This started out as an 8-0 run for the Malaysians, and now a 13-0 run from the players from Hong Kong. Chan Siu Wing had that last basket, tries to zip it inside, but Tevin Glass, with 1 second on the shot clock, is going to be called for a kickball.
Yes, they're going to have to reset that to 14, side out of bounds for the Hong Kong Eastern Lions.
And even if it's not intentional, the moment the ball hits your foot, it's a violation.
And had it not, it would have been a shot clock violation.
That's right. Gilbert on the inbound. Chan Siu Wing.
A little zipper action. They're going to slice Gilbert to the block. Let's see if he's going to put him on his back.
Gilbert, fall away. Good challenge that time by Williams.
Absolutely. Fought him tough in that mid-post area.
Williams now with 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Can he finally get an answer for Ennis Matrix? Williams, off-balanced. Bassett for the rebound. Oh, let the ball go. Finally got to recover it.
Bassett got all the way back in bounds in order to not get that out of bounds call. Thought Gilbert was going to pick it up, but did it himself.
Again, you have to have 2 feet back in bounds, not just one. Bassett was able to get that done. Less than 2 minutes now remaining here in the third. Gilbert gets tied up, and a foul on Tevin Glass. That will be his third. That quick change of direction for Dom Gilbert was just enough to throw off Tevin Glass. Now he's going to take a seat. Anthony Liu will return along with Ong Wei Yong.
Matrix down 13, still in striking distance for sure with all this time we've got left. Little under 12 minutes remaining in the game.
Well, they did it in 2 phases. They cut the 16-point lead down to 5, then they cut an 8-point lead down to 0. So if anybody can come back from a 13-point lead, we all know it's the Ennis Matrix.
Absolutely.
Ong Wei Yong. Mei with the left hand. No. Anthony Liu crashing the boards. Now Wong Yi Hao against Bassett. Pick provided by Liu. Wong Yi Hao bothered there by Troca. And we have a fast break going the other way now. Troca with the wide steps.
O.D. Bassett with a great outlet pass, really giving them an advantage in transition. Keeping his head up, passing it ahead to Troca. They'll be headed to the free throw line.
It's always an adventure to watch somebody who's 6'8" dribbling the ball down. Unless your name, of course, happens to be LeBron James.
Yeah, you're not going to get too many guys LeBron James size that can handle the ball the way he can in the open floor.
Troca, of course, very, very able when it comes to the free throws. So now 14 unanswered points.
Well, this is definitely a player who can shoot. He's not someone who's just playing around the rim with jump hooks. He can stretch it out to the three-point range.
Hong Kong Eastern has not scored since the 4-minute mark of this quarter. Well beyond the 4-minute mark of this quarter. Or make that now. I'm talking about Ennis Matrix.
Matrix,
yeah,
right? Matrix. They've struggled to score a little bit here. Hong Kong player there took an inadvertent shot in the face.
That's Adam Shu. He's slow to get up. Boy, look at this. 15 unanswered points.
And the Matrix have hit an absolute dry spell here.
And without Tevin Glass on the floor, they're losing one more option. They're also not with Williams on the floor now, but a turnover against Chan Siu Wing. Coach Pavlicevic doesn't like those kinds of turnovers.
Right, dribbling toward one of your teammates, and then with that pass, Bassett wasn't ready for it. And
well, we got a 4-second differential between the clocks, Coach. Jonathan Wong taking as much of it as he can. Wong goes up, lost the handle, gets it out. Wei Shanfu changes his mind. Out to Anthony Liu, and they could not get it. Boy, everything's just going haywire now for Ennis Matrix.
And 3.7 seconds on the clock is a lifetime for O'Darian Bassett.
Oh, that's right.
He will go coast to coast at that amount of time, but they'll skip it and just pass it forward to Troca.
Troca! Three-pointer, 18 unanswered points for Hong Kong Eastern as we head into a fourth quarter as they have now gotten their largest lead of the game, 59-41. This will be an interesting fourth, and we will have it for you when we return. Back with us here for the fourth quarter, and a shell-shocked NS Matrix squad find themselves down by 18 suddenly after tying the score at 41. NS Matrix has not scored, as I mentioned, since about the 4-minute mark, way past the 4th-minute mark of the third quarter, and then 18 unanswered points from practically everyone from Hong Kong Eastern.
Well, what was an 8-point lead at the half is now swelled up 10 more points to 18. We'll see if the Matrix are going to come out here in the fourth quarter and make a game of it and fight, or if they're going to roll over and just head toward the playoffs and look to seed at that point.
Well, Williams and Glass are back. 2 world imports for the NS Matrix squad, along with Kwek Chan Yuan, who will be doing the inbounds. And you and I were having a discussion during the break about Dom Gilbert, who he reminds us of. You said, and you make excellent sense here, Coach, that he does remind you of a Utah Jazz player by the name of Matt Harpring.
Yeah, Harpring was just so physical. He could shoot a little bit. He could do a little bit of everything, and but his physicality around the rim and even in perimeter defense, I think Gilbert has some similar skill sets, right, and that's a major compliment.
Well, I actually went a little bit back in time and compared him to Adam Keefe. If you remember Adam Keefe,
Absolutely.
Also of the Utah Jazz.
And out of Stanford University. Adam
right.
Keefe, a good player, great shooter from the perimeter.
Mm-hmm. And Dom Gilbert is going to town now.
Vintage Matt Harpring right there.
Or Adam Keefe. A stoppage in the action from our crew chief, Natapong Jontapa. Not quite sure if it's a shot clock issue again. We had several shot clock issues yesterday where the officials actually said, no, that's not the amount of time remaining. He just adjusted by 1 second. That's how precise these referees are.
And at the fast pace we were playing yesterday, I'm not too sure we needed a shot clock in the first place.
That's right.
Both those games, teams are getting up and down and firing that ball away, high-scoring affairs.
Glass getting it out. Wong over to Kwek Chan Yuan, and he knocks down a 3. So this could be the start of something for NS Matrix. Finally a basket after about 6 minutes of silence.
And not an easy bucket over the extended hand of Troca.
Here is Gilbert using the Troca pick. Bassett. Oh, just leaving Kwek Chan Yuan behind. Kwek didn't even move his feet. He just had to use his hands to foul.
Yeah, great take. Explosive, getting into the lane like Bassett does on a regular basis and then drawing the foul.
I mean, he froze him.
Turned him into a statue.
Chance Yu Wing getting a lot of burn here today. Again, remember, this kid came back from an ACL injury that sidelined him for the entire 2017-2018 season.
I love to see players come back from injury and be as good or better than they were before. It just shows a degree of mental and emotional resilience.
Oh, nice seal by Wong Yi Hao. And he can't get it to go. Foul's going to be called on Chance Yu Wing. Oh, they're going to say Dom Gilbert, though. It is on 88, Dom Gilbert. So that will be number 3 on Dom Gilbert.
Not too big an issue with just 8.5 minutes left in this game. Third foul is okay.
Finally, a free throw drops for Wong Yi Hao. 1 of 5 from the line. That's a stat that he's going to look very closely at. Knocks them both down. So what did Shaquille O'Neal say before? I may miss a lot of free throws at the start of the game, but I make them when it counts.
Yes, he does. The Matrix, though, entering the fourth quarter at 3 of 19 from three-point range is just not going to get them back in this game. They're going to have to hit some outside shots as well.
Well, they have been trying to get the ball over to Ting Chun Hong, who's not even on the floor at this moment. They did get a 3 from Kwek Chan Yuan earlier. Chan Siu Wing now going to Gilbert. And Gilbert just dribbled that off his foot. Gonna have an early timeout here called by Coach Pavlicevic. With the score now at 61-46. It is Hong Kong Eastern up by 15. Well, Hong Kong Eastern suddenly now looking at a squad that is determined to come back in this game. It looked like, after that 18-0 run to end that third quarter, it looked like the Ennis Matrix squad would just keel over and die. That's not the case.
And with a 15-point spread here with 8 minutes left, this game's certainly not over. Let's see if the Matrix are going to try and make one more run at it here.
Well, they had an 8-0 run to begin the second half. Williams, three-pointer short. Troca tracks it down. Under 8 minutes to go. Adam Shu getting it over now to Troca. Chance you win, yeah.
And Hong Kong reversing that ball with the cross screen from ODB to McLaughlin, really trying to get the ball down to the big fella again on the block.
Again, for Hong Kong Eastern, they do want to send a message here.
Right back down to McLaughlin, trying to take advantage of the size advantage right there.
Drop down to a zone. Chance Yu Wing offline. Troca out of nowhere.
Great hustle play from Troca.
Bassett. Troca. It was off balance. Oh, they track it down once again. Boy, Troca has like a magnet in his hands.
2 offensive rebounds here in the same possession, and it's going to be tough to stop Hong Kong Lions if you give them this many shots.
Oh, they had 4 shots in that offensive. A steal by Troca. Bassett missed the layup. 5 attempts. None went in.
The basket's got a lid on it right now.
Williams needs one shot to cut this lead down to 12.
Hong Kong Eastern with multiple point-blank attempts couldn't get the ball to fall.
Bassett needs to settle everybody down, including himself. The Malaysians now starting to get noisy. Adam Shu lost the ball. That's going to be a dribbling violation.
Hong Kong coming with a substitution here.
That's going to be Yung Ka-hin coming in. And it looks like
Bassett having a seat as well.
Yeah.
Dom Gilbert
he's back
the
in.
game. Yeah. So they're going to go with that big front line of Truca, McLaughlin, and Dom Gilbert.
Well, Gilbert is on 3 fouls, so he better watch it. They're on defense. Glass, series of cuts underneath. Williams gets the first step on Chance Yu Wing, hangs in the air, can't get it to go. Gilbert with yet another rebound. Dribbles his way out of problems. And Chance Yu Wing We'll wait for everybody.
Smart play by Chen Shu-Wei. Let's not rush it here. Let's get something set and get the look that you're really looking for here. The clock is your friend right now if you're Eastern Hong Kong.
Oh, dangerous pass, almost picked off. Liu Kahin. Williams gets it. A chance to inch even closer now for Ennis Matrix. Wong Yihao, the big strides to the man. It was highest at 18. Now it's down to 10. Still a lot of time remaining here, Coach Todd.
Plenty of time, and if they do cut this to single digits, it'll be interesting to see if Hong Kong uses that other timeout.
Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining.
They're going to call palming.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
sir. He got a little bit too far under that ball, trying to turn the corner on the baseline side. Referee caught him. We're going the other direction for Matrix.
You're right. Coach Pavlicevich is going to use his second timeout here of the fourth quarter. They will be down to just 1 timeout. 61-51. The lead is down to 10 for Hong Kong Eastern. We thought we'd only get noisy here during Saigon Heat games. Apparently, Ennis Matrix brought their own fans as well. But over at the other side, we can also hear Hong Kong Eastern with some supporters as well.
Both teams with a constituency here, and if this game gets a little bit closer, they're going to get a little bit louder.
Yep. Sparse crowd, but a crowd nonetheless here in the penultimate day of competition in the ASEAN Basketball League Invitational Tournament here in Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam. Noel Zarate still working alongside former ABL Coach of the Year and ABL Champion Coach Todd Purves. Change in the guard position now as Diwi Yang is back in the game for the Malaysians. Wong Yihao gets it over now to Tevin Glass. Glass lost the handle once again, but it is last touched by Troca.
Yeah, that ball went off Eastern Hong Kong Lions.
Went off Troca, they say.
It looks like they've reset the shot clock to 14.
Because the ball did hit the bottom of the rim.
Okay. Well, now they're going to talk about it. I think Coach Blachowicz has the same question I do. We thought maybe there was going to be less time on the shot clock, but if it did hit the rim, they've got it right.
I did see it hit the under part of the rim. It could have been the under part of the glass, but now they've confirmed that it did hit the under part of the rim. Wong Yihao on the inbound. Glass steps back. Mid-range jumper starting to work for Tevin Glass, and this lead is down to 8.
Down to single digits. Let's see if Hong Kong is feeling any of the pressure right now from the comeback of the Matrix. Again with the cross screen from McLaughlin, getting him the ball in the block, but he fumbles the pass.
Lots of pressure now on Christopher McLaughlin.
Coming out of timeouts, we've really seen the Eastern Hong Kong Lions try and get the ball down to the big fella after the cross screen on the block.
Will they do this again? Looking for that pick and pop action. Williams hands it over. Diwi Yang tries to penetrate, lost his footing, and he will be called for steps.
Great defense from Hong Kong. Really getting down into a stance and sliding their feet, not letting the Matrix players turn the corner on them and then forcing that turnover with the travel.
Well, that's enough for the rest for O'Darian Bassett. He's back in the game. Again, that's why I said he reminds me of Kemba Walker because he also wears the number 15.
Okay. Well, Coach making good use when he pulled him out. He also took a timeout, so O.D. Bassett got a good little rest right there and probably has some fresh legs to finish out the stretch of this game.
There's Troca. Momentarily open, fires. Good challenge that time by Quick. However, another offensive rebound for Dom Gilbert.
Gilbert continuing to do the little things that add to possessions that equate to winning.
Bassett. Follow-up is good, plus the foul. Nobody wants it down, Christopher McLaughlin.
And that height difference just making its imprint right here as we're getting additional shots for Hong Kong. Matrix able to get the stop, but just not able to finish it off with the defensive rebound.
Well, not only is the height a problem, even the heft. I mean, McLaughlin is wide. Ting Chun Hong has come back in now for the NS Matrix squad. It is winning time for him as they're down by 10, 63-53, probably even more. If McLaughlin can complete this three-point play. And he does. Oh, foul given up here. Troca and Glass have been having words, and now a technical foul.
And Troca was a little bit frustrated down at the other end. Felt like he received an elbow, was talking with the referee just a little bit, and then after the foul call here, he seems to have voiced his displeasure even further.
Troca now being restrained by both McLaughlin and Gilbert. He is part of the Colombian national team. I said earlier, Dominican Republic, he's actually part of the Colombian national team.
And the value of having veterans like Gilbert to come and calm your teammate down when he's feeling a little bit emotional. Relax, we've got this lead. Let's not make any major mistakes and get back to the grind. Gilbert staying on Troca to make sure he doesn't lose it.
Well, you see the referees have called a foul on Troca. And the crew chief will announce a technical foul on Troca.
So that initial foul, I believe, is going to be called on the ground, and then free throws for the technical and possession.
Yeah. I'm trying to see how many fouls Troca's got, though. Came in this fourth quarter, coach. Was it 2 fouls that he came in with? Now it should be up to 4. We're going to have a stoppage in the action. Hong Kong Eastern is going to use their final timeout of this game. They're still up, but only by 11, 64-53. Starting to run high here, but Hong Kong Eastern still has an 11-point lead. We're going to have a technical free throw coming up as Troca was just slapped with a tee. And it's going to be Tevin Glass taking the technical free throw, and Hong Kong Eastern will have the ball out of bounds. I believe since the foul happened in the backcourt, it will still be an inbounds in the backcourt with a full 24 seconds.
I think you're exactly right there. They're bringing the ball back to the backcourt, and that's going to give a full shot clock. Not that the Matrix plan on using the full shot clock at this point.
Yeah, I don't believe they will. So Glass cuts it down to 10, 4:05 remaining. Williams orchestrating. Picked by Kwek. Kwek has it. Nice head fake, but he moved his pivot foot. Jeff Viernes can't believe the call.
I think they're going to call steps on that head fake.
Let's see if that was the case here in the replay. Oh, he did. Baby steps, but steps nonetheless. Oh, Troca just swings his elbow and catches Kwek in the face.
Kwek trying to really put that pressure defense on there, closed up on him, and it certainly wasn't an intentional elbow. It was an inadvertent elbow when he tried to clear the ball through up top, but it caught him in the face for sure.
So that's number 4 officially now for Troca. I finally find him on the board. He's right there below Chansey Wing's name.
Well, you can see he's hounding Glass right now. He is locked in on trying to make sure that Glass, he's not in help defense whatsoever. He's trying to make sure that he can put his body and stay on Glass, and let's see if he can stay in this game or if he ends up fouling out.
Glass now picked up by Gilbert. In trouble. They get it out. 4 on the shot clock. Williams heaves it from 30. Air ball. That's not how Ennis Matrix wanted that play to go.
Hong Kong's got to feel great about that defensive stance. Switched out with Dom Gilbert helping on glass and then making Matrix settle for a challenge 3.
3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the fourth. Hong Kong Eastern 64. Ennis Matrix 54. Chan Su-Wing has not had any rest here in the second half. Bassett had a quick rest earlier. Shot clock now down to 4. Gilbert finally getting it to McLaughlin.
Hong Kong incredibly patient on that possession, wearing the shot clock all the way down before McLaughlin getting open for the easy slam.
66 to 54, back to a 12-point lead. Glass three-pointer is off. Gilbert with his 10,000th rebound.
And the clock's starting to become a factor, Noel. With a 12-point lead and only 2.5 in the game, each possession becomes more important now for the Matrix.
There's the drive by Gilbert. Jeff Jernis will now use one of his last 2 timeouts with 2:28 remaining. Suddenly the height of Hong Kong Eastern coming to the forefront as they now lead by 14, 68 to 54. With only 2 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in this one, Hong Kong Eastern up by 14. Some of the members of the crowd have decided to head on to the exit with a score at 68 to 54. But again, remember, Ennis Matrix playing with 2 world imports. They have a third one, Jonathan Wong. But the big guy, Amir Williams, is injured and could be ready by the playoffs.
Absolutely. I expect to see this matchup a little bit different come playoff time. Fans leaving right now might be slightly premature. 16 is a good amount of points, but we've still got over 2 minutes on the clock, and you never can tell here in the ABL.
Well, this 14-point lead may shrink. Oh, but not with that shot by Tevin Glass. They get it out. Wong Yi Hao. Batted around now as McLaughlin secures. We have exactly 2 minutes remaining. 68 Hong Kong Eastern, 54 Ennis Matrix Malaysia. Away from play. Offensive foul will be called here on Dom Gilbert. That would be number 4 on him.
Getting a little extra physical down there in the post, trying to get his spot. He knew he committed the foul, raised his hand immediately, and heading back down to play some D.
Well, that puts them over the limit, though, Coach. And they're on defense, so let's see if Ennis Matrix actually makes good of this situation.
Well, the Matrix want to attack the basket. If you can get to the free throw line and close this gap while the clock is stopped, that'd be beneficial. Let's see.
No roll coming from Quick Chan Yuan. Instead, Williams puts up a 3.
You're exactly right. No one rolled down the lane. No one slipped through there, and it allowed Hong Kong to extend the defense.
That miss. With now a minute and 30. A steal here by Glass. Go inside, Wong Yi Hao, yes. Wong Yi Hao's got 17 points in the game to lead all scorers of the Ennis Matrix squad. He came off the bench in this one. Chan Su-Wing is now going to waste as much time as possible with his 12-point lead. Gilbert, shot clock at 5. Comes up short. Oh, McLaughlin with the offensive rebound.
And we spoke about this earlier. When you get to certain points in the game, a shot clock violation isn't necessarily a bad play.
Right. Gilbert with a miss. And here comes Williams right now. Lead is 12. Less than a minute to go. Kwek Chanyuan, three-pointer good.
Cutting it to single digits, but 40 seconds, just not enough time to get it done.
Again, they are milking the clock right now. Hong Kong Eastern is. I don't think Coach Jeff Viernes is giving any orders right now to foul. Shoka, nail on the coffin.
That's his game right there. Open look from three, putting a punctuation on this quarter.
And with 18.6 remaining, the lead is 12 for Hong Kong Eastern, 71-59. Jeff Viernes will use his final timeout. (71-59). This deal is done. Hong Kong Eastern will add a second loss, so the NS Matrix squad will finish the round here, or the Invitational, in this leg at 1 win and 2 losses after coming into this leg with 9 consecutive wins. But again, this doesn't really hurt them because they are in the playoffs. They might not be the #1 seed after this loss because Saigon will be taking on Louvre Surabaya tomorrow. But still, they got to feel out their potential playoff opponent.
And ideally, you want to come into the playoffs with some momentum, but the Matrix know they've been playing a little bit short-handed here. Down one of their major import players, and we'll see a different team come playoff time.
Gilbert able to get the breakaway dunk. And Ting Chun Hong may just opt to dribble out the time. Wang Yihao is still going to try a three, and he gets it. So the official score has changed. And the final, 73-62. Hong Kong Eastern with the victory against the NS Matrix squad. We still have one full day of competition tomorrow, folks, and we hope you join us for that one. For Coach Todd Purves and the rest of our amazing crew here in Ho Chi Minh, this is Noel Zantes saying bye-bye. And you have been watching our continuing coverage of the ASEAN Basketball League Invitational Tournament 2023.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a win for a victory for Hong Kong Eastern, and now we are gonna go for the short interview with the MVP of the game, Christopher McLaughlin. So now you have a great performance. So what's in your mind right now?
Just going into this game, we knew that it's the last 2 games of the season, and right now we're playing just to get better and get ready for the Final Four, and that's what we did today.
So now you and the team clinched the playoff spot. So what is next?
Next is tomorrow's game. That's the first and foremost. We're going to try and play for that 2nd spot, and then go home and get ready for playoffs.
And can you share something for the fan after the game in Vietnam? This will be the last game.
The fan energy here has been great. We've had some fans from Hong Kong, which has been awesome, and just the energy of the building's been awesome in Vietnam. We all love the city. It's a great place to play basketball. You can really feel the support.
Yeah, one more time, congratulations for the victory today. And it's the end for today's game. So we will back tomorrow, and we have also 2 games, especially the game of the home team Saigon Heat. So see you again tomorrow. And now, goodbye, and see you again.
This broadcast of the ASEAN Basketball League may not be reused in any way, shape, or form without an express written consent of the ABL.